Hey all, it's Casey with Russo Resells. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. I appreciate you clicking on today's video. We are going to be doing a what sold video. Today is Tuesday, January 6th, and we left off a couple days ago on Sunday, January 4th. And after we left off, I had one more sale, and then yesterday, Monday, January 5th, I had 5 sales. So I kind of rushed into that. For those of you new here, my name is Casey. I am a full-time online reseller, and I sell on platforms such as eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, and Curtsy. And I do my best to try to show you all what is selling for me so you know what to look for possibly when you're outsourcing, and maybe not what to pick up when you're outsourcing. So let's go ahead and hop into these sales. So the last item to sell on Sunday, January 4th, is this brand new with tags, Free People, beautiful, like kind of see-through crepe material. It's this baby doll blouse, and it is just incredible with this leopard print going on. I actually think this might be, like, you could wear it either as a dress or a tunic blouse. But either way, I thought it was so pretty, and I am very happy to have gotten this from my aunt, and I put it up on Poshmark. The comps actually weren't that great, even new with tags, which was kind of disappointing, but I did go ahead and list a little high to hope to get an offer, which is exactly what happened. I listed it at $50. My Posher VA sent out 20% off offers to likers, and that was $40, and a liker came back and offered me $36, which I thought was very reasonable. My fees to Poshmark were $7.20, and excuse me, I have to look at my computer right here because I didn't write down on my trusty little cheat sheet here the numbers, but my aunt left with $17.28, and I was left with $11.52, which I think is phenomenal because it only sold in about a day or two. So very happy with that. Now moving right along to yesterday's sales, another Free People item sold. This is the Free People movement logo, and this is the tag. I recently just did a consignment haul of one of my tennis teammates, and she actually gave me this to sell. It is so cute. It's this black athletic dress. It is called the Free People Movement Easy Does It dress in black. It is so adorable, and it has this amazing cutout in the back. So I'm very excited to get this, but like this Free People, or the Free People dress I just showed you before, the leopard one, it didn't have great comps. So I did shoot high and hope for the best, and that's what happened. I went ahead and put it up for $50, and a buyer came in and actually offered me $25, which I thought was a little unreasonable because I had only listed it up for about 3 or 4 days. So we went back and forth, and we finally, came to the good price of $30, which I thought was, just fine. Our fees to Poshmark were $6, and my consignee left with, let's see, I actually just rounded it up. She was supposed to leave with $14.40, so I just gave her $15, and I ended up with $9, which is great for about 3 or 4 days of being listed. Now, we had a consignment sell, so not me selling for a consignee, but I sent in a bag to Poshmark Consignment, and one of my items finally sold. This is the 3rd or 4th item out of like 24 that I sent, so I'm very happy to get at least something. I'm going to go ahead and pop up a picture right here. These are actually coming out of my husband's closet. They are Prada loafers, and they were just very uncomfortable for him, so he decided he wanted to go ahead and get rid of them. And I had them listed myself for about over a year, and they just had zero traction. And the RealReal wasn't going to pay out a lot of money, maybe like $20. So I'm very happy to double that because my consignment person put them up for $100. They sold for $100. Poshmark took $20, and then the way it works is she gets half of the profit, so she left with $40 and I left with $40, which I am very happy to double what the RealReal would have given me anyways, and I'm happy that my items in her closet are finally selling. Just like a lot of my videos, I do apologize if I stumble over my words or if I missay something. Unfortunately, it is 10:30 and we have to leave the house by 11, so I am trying to get through this. The next item to sell is a pair of New With Tags Reformation. They're like these green cargo pants. These are awesome. I absolutely love these, and I was so excited to get them from a reseller Facebook group bundle, and I paid about $11 to $12 for these, but they were a size 2. So they had the brand going for them, they had the New With Tags going for them, but not necessarily the size. But for me, these trendier brands actually tend to do better in these smaller sizes because it's usually like the teenage mid-20s that's looking for them. So I do think that's why they sold so quickly. I only had them up for about a week or two, and I did price them very reasonably because they were such a small size. So I priced them at $50. My Posher VA sent out 20% off offer to Likers, which was $40, and a Liker did accept. My fees to Poshmark were $8, which left me with a profit of $32, which I think is fantastic for a pair of size 2 pants. Now, the next item to sell is this Favorite Daughter. This is a great brand to look out for. And this is just a gray basic tee that says Favorite Daughter. And I didn't realize, but when I got home, the tag was kind of off just on the lower 2 parts. So as you can see here, I did go ahead and stitch it up. I tried my best. I went ahead and disclosed it and listed it lower than comp suggested because of that. So I listed it at $30, and then a liker of the item actually sent me an $18 offer on Poshmark, and I decided to go ahead and take that because I thought that was very fair. So I accepted the $18. My fees to Poshmark were $3.60, and I was left with $14.40. And I paid about $5 for that at my local Savers. Don't judge me, but this next item definitely needs a good lint roll. And it is by Athleta or Athleta, however you want to pronounce it. And these are the Venice Moto Joggers. And I always have the best luck with the Athleta pieces that have the style name actually printed on either the garment itself or the tag. So I wanted to pick these up. I paid about $10 for them at my local Savers. So these are really cool. They have this kind of like moto texture to them. And they are a jogger, which is a great style for this brand. They have, you know, the zippered pockets in back. I thought that was just such a lovely touch. And they are in like new condition. So I knew I wanted to go ahead and pick those up. I had them listed on Poshmark for $40, and my Posher VA sent out a 20% off offer to Likers, which was $32, and a Liker did accept. So my fees to Poshmark were $6.40, and I left with $25.60, which to me for Athleta is a very great profit. Now, it wouldn't be a what sold video without A, a couponing item, or B, a fragrance sample, and I have letter B. I have a fragrance sample that sold yesterday. It is by Bulgari Allegra. This is the Magnifying Bergamot. And I actually have tried this one before and don't really connect with it, and neither does my mother-in-law. So I decided to go ahead and put it up on eBay for $9.99 plus free ship. A buyer came in and paid full price. It cost me $4.95 to ship. I did have it promoted, so those fees were 53 cents. My fees to eBay were $1.76, and that left me with a profit of $2.75. Very happy to turn any free item into a couple dollars. Obviously, it would be nice if it were more, but a couple dollars is great for me. So, these are all of the items that have sold so far, and I hope to hop on within the next couple days to show you more sales. I hope you guys are having great sales yourself, and we'll catch you in a few days. Hey y'all, it is now Thursday, January 8th, and I wanted to hop on to show you the last 2 days of sales. I do apologize in advance for my very wrinkly shirt and my crazy hair, but I'm going to play tennis right after this. So let's go ahead and get started. On Tuesday, January 6th, I had 5 sales, and then yesterday, Wednesday, January 7th, I had 6 sales. So those are the ones we're going to go into right now. The first one is this Intimately Free People like ivory deep V-neck crochet long sleeve. I think this is absolutely such a classic capsule piece, and I really hope the person or the buyer loves this because it seems extremely comfortable. So I had that listed on Poshmark for $30, and I just recently switched over from Posher VA to Nifty, which I am loving. And my Nifty sent out a 20% off offer, which was $24, and the liker did accept. My fees to Poshmark were $4.80, and I left with a profit of $19.20. I got that for about $8 to $10 at my local Savers, so definitely not the biggest profit, but I am happy to maybe double my money. The next items, I actually did some retail arbitrage when I went to HomeGoods. I always like to look at the clearance section to see if there's anything I can purchase to help pay for a portion, if not all of my purchase when I'm going there. And I found these Neutrogena Refreshingly Clear. I think it's like a serum for your face. And I did see good comps for these. I bought them for $3.50 each, so $7 total. I put them up on eBay for $21.99 plus free ship, and a buyer came in and they paid full price. It cost me $5.15 to ship. My fees to eBay were $3.42, and I left with a profit of $13.42. So I'm very happy to make about $5 to $6 to help pay for the purchase I was already there to make. Now, the next item I received from a free Facebook group. So I had been, and I still occasionally pop into that group to see what they have, but I am a part of a group where they post items for free, and you go and basically follow their instructions of how to look the item up in either Amazon or TikTok. I don't have TikTok, I just do the Amazon ones. And you purchase it, they reimburse you, and basically it shows that buyer higher in the algorithm. So it is this Home EC salt and pepper stainless steel set, and I'll go ahead and pop up a picture of what they actually look like right there, but I got this for completely free. And my husband actually wanted different ones, so we bought those, and I decided to put these up. I put them up on eBay for $19.99 plus $10 ship, and a buyer offered me $12.99 plus $10 ship, which I did accept. It cost me $9.74 to ship. I did have it promoted, so those fees were $1.48. My fees to eBay were $3.52, and I turned a free to me item into $8.25. That will basically help pay a little bit for our other salt and pepper shakers. Next item I got for about $9 to $10 at a half off Salvation Army sale. It is by Old Navy. and it is new with tags. It is this white puffer vest. I absolutely love this. And right now I have a 26% off offer in my eBay store, and a buyer went ahead and utilized that to purchase this. So I had it listed for $27.99 plus $10 ship. They did use the 26% off coupon, so they paid $20.69 plus $10 ship. It cost me $6.73 to ship. My fees to eBay were $4.53, and I left with a profit of $19.43. I am very happy to see that go, so I don't have to wait another year to sell it when it's in season. I know that it could sell in spring and summer, but the likelihood of that is very low. So happy to see it go out of my closet. Now, the last item to sell on Tuesday is by Cool, and it is a great outdoors brand, and I think I paid anywhere from $3 to $5 for this, and I know that's a lot for a basic top in this brand, but I knew that it would sell and it would sell fast. So it is this beautiful, like, light heathered blue blouse. I absolutely love this. It's very lightweight, very Gorp core. And I priced it very reasonably. The comps were not the greatest on it, so priced it at $19.99 plus $5 ship, and a buyer came in and used my 26% off coupon. They paid $14.79 plus $5 ship. It cost me $5.09 to ship. I did have it promoted, so those fees were 99 cents. My fees to eBay were $2.91, and I doubled my money by making a profit of $10.80. Now, I only picked up this next item because it is Peloton and Spiritual Gangster, so they did a collaboration, and the way that I knew what it was is by this little logo. That's the Spiritual Gangster logo, and obviously the Peloton logo is right on the front. This is an extremely lightweight tank, so I did want to pick it up because it was only priced for a couple dollars, and I thought that was worth it. So I put it up on eBay for $21.99 plus $5 ship, and my Nifty sent out a 20% off offer to likers or to watchers, and that was $16.36 plus $5 ship, and one of those watchers did accept. It cost me $4.95 to ship. My fees to eBay were $3.30, and I made a profit of $13.11 on a very tiny tank top. We love to see it. Now, the next item is a consignment item. It is this really cool vintage gold plated purse. I absolutely love it. And it actually has the little shoulder strap with it, and it's in fantastic condition. So there it is right there. And this, I didn't want to price too aggressively. I wanted to price it to sell because this client actually doesn't care what kind of profit he is getting from these items because he himself got them for free also. So I had this item priced at $29.99 plus $10 ship. A buyer offered me $25 plus $10 ship, which I did accept. It cost me $6.34 to ship. My fees to eBay were $4.85, and my consignee left with a profit of $14.29, and I made a profit of $9.52. And I actually live in Southern California, Orange County, and this purse is going to Los Angeles, California, so very excited for that trendy person to use this purse and feel absolutely incredible because it is a great vintage piece. Now, the next item to sell I got from Miss Kimmy over on Mama on a Mission in one of her Whatnot shows. It is new with tags, Old Navy. These are the Taylor wide leg trouser extra high rise, and they are these really beautiful houndstooth print long trouser pants. I absolutely love these. They are so soft and obviously new at tags, great condition. So I priced these at $30 on Poshmark, and my Nifty sent out 20% offers to likers, and one of those likers did accept, and they paid $24. My fees to eBay were $4.80, and I left with a profit of $19.20. Our next item to sell is a bathing suit. So it is really cute with that floral detail, and it is by the brand Cupshe. I have great luck with this brand. I can usually buy Nuitag swimsuits at a Amazon liquidation center down the road from me for about $5 each. So I always tend to pick them up because I can sell them for about $20 to $25. I bought, I want to say like 20 to 30 of these last year, and they're all paid for. So I do want to say that my cost of goods into those is $0, but technically I paid $5 for that set. So I listed it on Poshmark for $25. I received an offer of $15. I'm very exhausted or tired of seeing these in my store, so I did accept. My fees to Poshmark were $3, and I left with a profit of $12. So very happy. I think I only have about 4 to 5 of those left, and I'm very excited to get them out the door. Now, the next item to sell is this pair of Everlane jeans, and I've had these for over a year, so I went ahead and redid the stock photo, added a couple new keywords, and they sold within a month. These are the 90s Cheeky Jean Organic Cotton, and they are in just great condition. I got these at a Hop Off Salvation Army sale for about $4 to $5, so definitely well worth it. And I priced them a little lower than comps to get them to move out of my closet. I priced them at $30. I received an offer of $23 from a buyer, and I did accept. My fees to Poshmark were $4.60, and I left with a profit of $18.40. Not the biggest profit, but I will take it so I can reinvest that money into better inventory. Now, the last sale that I had yesterday is by a great brand. It's called Scotch and Soda, but with a lot of high retail brands, sometimes the resale market is just not there. And that is exactly what it is in this case. So it definitely depends on the type of garment you have, but most of the time the resale value just isn't high. I still wanted to pick this up for about $8 at a Salvation Army, and it is just this really pretty long sleeve leopard print button up. Did want to go ahead and grab that. So it's hard for me, like when I see higher end retail brands at the thrift store and they don't have a great resale value, it really just breaks my heart, and I still want to get them. But I have learned from obviously pieces like this previously that sometimes it's not the best to do, but you know, it's something that I'm working through, as I think we all do as resellers. So I priced this on eBay for $24.99 plus $7 ship, and my Nifty sent out a 20% off offer to watchers, and one of them did accept. They paid $20.50 plus $7 ship. It cost me $4.99 to ship. My fees to eBay were $4.09, and that left me with a total profit of $18.42. Very happy to make a $10 profit on a great item, and I really hope that that buyer loves it. Anyways, guys, it is now 10:10. I need to get out the door to go play tennis. But I hope you guys are having great thrifting, great sales, and until next time, my friends, bye.